Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Spotlight with the Schumans. And today we have Coach Modicue. Thank you for being on my show.
Man, thank you for inviting me, man. I'm a fan.
And I'm going to ask you a few questions. So, what made you start coaching?
Man, like three different things really. First thing is I love ball. Like I just love the game. I think that like my shortcomings of playing it fuel me a lot to want to come back and coach it. You know what I mean? Because I think like a lot of us we can't play it anymore, so that's the way we give back to it. I think the second thing is just like all the guys in my community that coach me in track and football and stuff, those sports, they were just stand up guys in our community. And there wasn't too many stand up guys in our community. So those guys was an influence on me as well. I think the third thing is like most people do for the mentorship, helping young men achieve their dreams and their goals.
So, what do you like about coaching?
Everything about it, I like the competitiveness of it. I like the passion. I love helping kids reach their goals. And like I said, those are just the biggest things in coaching, like to building them up from seeing them from the ground up to all the way up.
All right. So, what is your biggest challenge when coaching?
I think the biggest challenge for when you're coaching is right now with the student athletes today is they're trying to stop them from seeking comfort, right? They try to like I mean in today's society like comfort is seeked everywhere. Like you want to be like, oh, be comfortable, but like you have to be able to know that you got to be uncomfortable sometimes. You know what I mean? To achieve your goals. You know what I mean? And that's what I just try to tell them. Like if you have a good game one game, that don't mean you have a bad game the next game. You just try to stay with your principles, keep a habit. I think like it takes 30 days to create a habit, and you need to want to be able to create habits so that way that is how you're wired all the time when you go out there and perform and act athletically and academically.
Okay, so speaking of like confidence with a player, how do you think confidence is important?
Confidence is super important. You wanna make sure you kind of draw on that line with confidence and arrogance. So I think like players that have confidence in themselves, you build that confidence with uh, your ability to play, your knowledge of the game, your IQ and how strong you are, how fast you are. I think kids of that nature is like that's how you build the confidence in the kid. Like, because some kids don't exude confidence because they might not be as big, as not as fast, but you can build confidence in yourself. That's why I love the game of football because you can be a little guy and still be able to go out and play very well.
Okay, so how much, talking about the season, how much work and execution do you have to make it just to the playoffs?
Well, I mean, at Calvary, we've had a lot of success, and I think our success is built off of our culture. Like, you got to build a culture, and building a culture is starting from the workouts and how you do things. I think we have a saying it's just like kind of like how you do things is how you do everything, and that's just from the workouts, that's from the classroom, that's how your character is, that's how we do things, how we dress, even all the way down to everything attention to detail that we do on the field, from the pre before game to game day.
So, how is education important to a player's factor?
It's super important. I think it's just one of the pillars in that role in the process of being a student athlete, right? I think it's like it's one of the biggest roles because eventually I always say that the ball is gonna not have any air in it anymore, meaning that eventually one day you're gonna have to rely back on your education, and whether you go all the way up to the NFL or not, or just go Division One, you're gonna have to be able to be educated and be successful in the world today.
Okay, so what does it make? How does it make you feel when your players are successful?
It's like I said, it's a great achievement for me. I think like one of the reasons that I do it is not for them to be successful. I mean, they have their own path and how they're going to go, but to be able to help them get to where they want to go, whether it's want to be the NFL, whether it's want to go to college, that's what I'm here to give them that helping stand. So when I have kids that are at Division One level, at college period, getting a full ride scholarship, it makes me happy inside, warm inside, and I feel good about that I was a part of it.
So, when student athletes, are trying to get to the college pro level, what do you think is the most important thing to focus on?
I think like one of the things to focus on is like you just build a, like I said, create a habit for yourself, right? And then you just go out and you work hard every day. You put the work in because you don't get what you want, you get what you work for. And those are things that the student athlete has to understand. And then, my granddad always told me, if I take you to the prom, I want to dance with you. And that meant that you want who wants you. So if somebody's coming and a college is coming for you, you want to be with that college. If they want you and they're showing that they want you to be a part of them and it feels like family, then it's probably the right thing to do.
So back to the team. What are your expectations for next season?
Well, like that, I love coaching football particularly because every season is a new team. Every season is a new challenge. Every season is it's always something new. It's always a way we can build up some guys. We got a lot of young guys. They're hungry. They're buying into our culture that we've set forward. The other guys that have left that went to Division 1 level, and I think they're buying in. I think we're gonna be successful.
Okay, so what are mistakes that athletes make when trying to go to the next level?
I won't necessarily say like a lot of the mistakes. I think that they lose sight of, like I said, just having accountability for the grades and stuff like that. You got to make sure got to make sure you work on you, the total person, right? Your athletics, you got to work on your academics, you got to work on your character, you got to work on your work ethic, you're being a great teammate. And if you do that, like I think everything else is take care of itself. Like it's like popcorn, like everybody pops at different times.
Okay, so teammates, like, what is the bond like between all of your athletes that you have on your team?
Well, I think the real big thing about our team is that they're all together and they all hang around each other. I always say like do hang out with people and do things with people that are doing the same things you're doing, right? So if I got football practice, I got workouts in the morning, we all can't be up all late all night. We all got to go to bed or do that. So just hanging out with just who does the same thing what you do, and it becomes a bond in a family. So.
So in athletes, how is discipline important?
It's super important. Like being disciplined is, it's like being disciplined is people think that, oh, I'm gonna punish you for something. No, it's about doing what's right when no one's looking. It's about doing those things the right way all the time. And it's easy to do the wrong thing. It's hard to do the right thing. So.
Okay, so what would you say parents have to do to that their child is trying to get to the next level? What do you say that they would have to do?
Well, I would tell parents that they're the guardianship and stewardess of the process, right? Learn the process and be with the coaches, be with the process, and be stern on it. Be stern on their grades. Be stern on their academics. Be stern on their athletics. Be stern on them working out. Be stern on everything that they need to do to touch all those bases to get to the next level. And if you help push that, then you could be a part of that. Like I think that's what parents kind of lose sight of that and know that what's for you is for you. Just because a kid got an offer over here doesn't mean that that's where your offer is. You know what I mean?
So, and last question, would you focus more on fundamentals or skill?
I would say fundamentals. Fundamentals is always the base, right? Like I told you before, like, everybody, like LeBron James. I bring LeBron James up. Like, a lot of people can't be LeBron James, but somebody could be Steph Curry, as you said earlier, was your favorite player. But you can be 6 foot, 5'10", go in the gym and work out really hard and create a shot or create something and be really good at it. So, I would say fundamentals.
Okay, and that was the last question. And thank you, Coach Modicue,
I appreciate
for
it,
being
man.
on the show. And yeah, we out.
We out.